boy. This time we are recording from the passenger seat. Time for a quick update. Oh, it's been a while since I sat here. I love how my camera is tracking. We are recording with Panasonic. One issue with the GoPro is that there's no zoom and you cannot exactly see, where you're looking. Like this camera, I love this camera. If anybody want to give it a try, the link is in the description below. Monday, March 5th, I believe. Yeah. Hold on. Just need to type a response. Somebody sent me a compliment in here. So, in my age, you cannot ignore compliments. So March 5th. Still in Canada, still in Guelph, still at my hotel. After last extension, I just figured. I said I'm gonna extend it till March 7th, which is this Wednesday, in 2 days. I cannot believe it. This is the longest I ever in my whole life spent at a hotel in one town, at one place, at one room. So checked in January 21st. So it's like 1 month, like 3 weeks, Anyway, it's still very cold here. Well, by most American standards. In the morning, my cell phone said -7 Celsius, which is like, so I grabbed my, winter vest. And I went outside. It's not that bad, actually. And then when I started the car says -5. So -5, so that's 32 minus 9. What is that? 30 minus 7, 23. 23F. But March, right? If you were watching me somewhere from California or Mexico, you're probably laughing your head off watching me in this winter hat. But it is chilly outside. So I went to, didn't do my fitness today, because I find that it's important to do a break at least once a week. Otherwise, you don't get results, because your muscles actually gain mass when you relax, right? But the downside of that is that I keep track of my calories, and exercise, usually because of exercise, you get 170, 200 calories you can eat during the day because of the exercise. And now I didn't eat anything today. I didn't exercise, and now I had some lunch at that Thai Express. No, actually, it's called Cultures. There's like one walk-in, kind of like a cafe, not a real restaurant, but one part is Thai Express, but I don't like this too much rice, too much bread in there. But then the other side is called Cultures, and I think it's like a chain. But this is the first time I went in there. No, second time. And I had this big salad with kind of like vegan salad, and it says 650 calories. It's just vegan, but it has nuts in there, everything. And then under that vegan, it says options, chicken breast, which makes perfect sense for vegan lovers. But that's what I did. I said, okay, give me the vegan salad with chicken breast, which kind of defeats the purpose, but you gotta have veggies, right? It was really nice, kind of like a raw veggie salad. But the problem is that, and also for some reason they have this ciabatta bun. I love that stuff, and I said, guys, can I just have one bun to go? But anyway, so that was like 650 calories plus the bun, plus the chicken. So I'm like over 800 calories just from one lunch. and I look at my calculator. It says now, if I want to have a glass of wine in the evening, which is, of course, very calorie rich, I have to walk for at least 30 minutes because I didn't do any weightlifting today. So, see, that's the problem. That's why I need to. So now I think I'll do that. So if I don't do weights, I'll have to walk in the morning. Otherwise, you can hardly eat anything, And my previous plan did not work, that 1 pound a week, because my last weigh-in showed no weight reduction, still 169 pounds, 0.4, 169.4, yeah, so I changed my goal. I accelerated to, I think, to 2 pounds a week, and now the app on the phone gave me less calories a day, which is fun. I really love this app, because actually when I was in my university days, I always wanted to be in accounting, bookkeeping. I just like tracking stuff, dealing with details, specking, researching, my kind of thing. Anyway, back to the truck. Sorry for the long introduction, but I'm just saying that it's been a very long stay at one place for me, at one town. Hello? Yeah, that's me. Yeah, SERGEI DRATCHEV heavy haul. Yeah. Well, actually, no, the thing is, I'm in Ontario, so yeah, I saw that load because the rate was so great, but unfortunately my truck is not set up for Western Canada because I have a pusher axle. You guys don't recognize it, right? No, I mean, are you familiar with the spec requirements for Western Canada? So like, this was, 98,000 pounds, right? Okay, so how many axles do you think I would need to do that? $12 axles? Well, I don't think you need 12 axles, probably. Oh, it's 106. Okay, so probably you would need a 3-axle truck, 2-axle Jeep, and 3-axle trailer plus 2-axle booster. 3, 5, 8, 10. No, I think you can do it with 10, but yeah, I only have 8. Yeah, I only have 8, and and like I said, my truck is spec'd for Eastern Canada, so I have a pusher axle. I don't have Jeeps. But I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to break into that, but I just need to upgrade my equipment to be able to haul loads out of there. Okay, you're welcome. Yeah, maybe, if you have something maybe not too heavy, but yeah, I'm near Toronto, Ontario. So I can go, if I go there with my truck, they'll just treat me as a 3-axle truck because they don't give me any weight for the pusher. Right, so I'll just have like a 6-axle rig because they don't recognize my flip axle on the trailer either. So for now I can only do light loads, but yeah, I do have a 55-ton RGN lowboy. Okay. Yeah, thank you. You too. Yeah, basically, the thing that happens with the load board, these brokers, they become more and more proactive. So each time you look at the load, and I click on details, and I look at the details of the load, not just from the main page, but if I want to see the actual load description, and I can print it as a PDF. They see that, and then they call you back. Hey, you look at my load. Like, and sometimes I just feel like joking. I didn't know it was a crime. So anyway, I looked at the load recently. I was checking what's happening in Western Canada, and it seems now the freight starts picking up, and now that I see they have some heavy loads out of there. But like I was talking, this girl was from Alberta, and she said, we saw you looked at our load, and I think they had two loads. One was 98,000, you know, pretty heavy, and I thought it was that one. And I said, how many axles do you think I needed? She says 12. And she was like very hesitant, you know, she was not sure, but at least she gave me some kind of a answer. Like most of the time these brokers have no clue how many axles or what kind of rig you need. So it looks like this girl probably at least did a few heavy loads, you know. And then she says, yeah, the weight is not 98, it's 106,000 pounds. And I could probably do that somewhere here, like in Ontario or Quebec with a special permit. I can do that because like you heard me talking to her. I said my truck is spec'd for Eastern Canada and Eastern US. Like with 8 axles, you know, like roughly each axle is 20,000 pounds, because now I have a heavy front axle and I'm getting that spreader bar. I mean spreader flip gooseneck extension, right? So now I can move a lot of weight to the front. So ideally, if I'm in a jurisdiction where they give me a full amount for the flip axle, right, so 20,000, so now it's very easy to calculate. I have 20, 20, 23, 23, 25, 25, 25, 25, but nobody will give you that, so they'll just give you 20,000 per each, ideally, in an ideal world, which is 20 times 8 is 160,000 pounds, right? And minus my rig will probably weigh about 52. Before it was 49 with a flip, with a Mack pusher fully fueled with me inside after a big breakfast. It was 49,000 pounds. But now this truck will be heavier, so I'm guessing it'll be my weight will go up. It'll be 52, 53, and so 160 minus 53. So that's what I can do, like 107. Again, if I get full 20,000 pounds on the flip axle, which not all states, you know, do. But that's a good beginning, you know. I'll see what I can do later. So now I'm getting the flip box for the trailer, and maybe later I'll do some kind of an upgrade. I don't know, if I have some extra money, maybe get at least like a single axle Jeep that I can go into Western Canada, like a 7-axle, yeah, like 4-axle truck, 3-axle trailer, because the flip does not count over there. And I talked to a guy about these spreaders, because, you know, I can still use my flip axle. I can buy a spreader bar and hook up to the flip, and this way it's like 14 feet beyond your trailer, and they allow you more weight. The problem is that first of all you have to carry, that thing becomes pretty big, right? So now it occupies space on your trailer, you know, and you have to pay somebody to hook it up, unhook it, and also this guy I was talking to, he says the cheapest one is just a regular, manual spreader. And this guy said you don't want that, because a lot of guys just basically damage. It's very easy to damage it. You know, if you go over some kind of like a hill, or like you're crossing a bridge, you know how the road goes over a bridge, you can have some, you know, uneven spots. And he says if you have a heavy load and you just and something happens and a lot of weight goes on your single axle in the back, you know, it's easy to damage it, to break it. And he says the way to go and have a nitrogen filled spreader, and of course those are much more money, and you can still buy them used. But like I said, I'm still not sure. I want to get into this complicated setup, you know, where you basically do stuff one way only, and then the other way you load everything on your trailer and you drive back empty, you know. For now I just want to keep it simple, you know, 8 axles with this monster truck. Speaking about the truck, if anybody still watches, you know, because I know you guys don't like me talking too much, but I cannot show you the truck. But what I can say is that finally my stay at the hotel is coming to an end, and I'm getting the truck this week. Let me repeat that. I'm checking out of the hotel Wednesday, and I'm getting the truck Wednesday. But that does not mean that I'll start trucking. It's just that the dealer will put a dealer plate on it and drive it towards my yard, or maybe they'll allow me to drive it with a dealer plate, but I don't know how that would work with the insurance. Probably they cannot allow me to drive it unless I have my own plate. But what happened today is that I received an email from Pekka Financial saying that they received word from the dealer that the PTO shop did not disappoint, that the truck was done, and the dealer picked up my truck today, Monday, from the PTO shop, and now it's at the dealer, and last I heard they send it for cleaning. So they're gonna wash the truck, and I think they're probably gonna clean it inside, because I saw already a lot of dust there, because the truck they had this truck since February 20th, right? Today's March 5th, and that's how long it takes. Of course, if I was just getting a 3-axle truck from the factory, I'll be trucking a long time ago, but because they had to do these 3 things, engine, heater, fenders, and PTO, it took a very long time. And so the Pekka Financial says since the truck is pretty much ready, for some reason they want to meet Wednesday, not today, not tomorrow, but Wednesday, the day after tomorrow. And she asked me for some paperwork, so I sent her all the documents, my banking information, where the payments will be coming out. Oh boy. And she asked me about my insurance broker, sent her that, sent her his contact info, and the guy replies, he says, "Hey, I'm on a cruise, on vacation. Contact this lady in my office." But he has no cell phone service. He's probably somewhere in South America, but his email works, because I guess he has Wi-Fi on the ship, and so he was able to receive and forward the message to his colleague that's over here. And so that is done. That is cool. I still don't know what's happening with the price of the truck, because that's why they waited, right? Like I mentioned before, they wanted to finish all repairs, so they have all the invoices from these shops, and because maybe the price went down, maybe the price went up, compared to what we put on the bill of sale before. And they said I might need to pay a bit more because of this flip box. So we'll see what happens. I have a bit of money left, so I don't think that should be a problem, but a couple of friends are helping out. It's a big strenuous effort, to get this truck on the road. One guy also did me a big favor, and now he's on vacation somewhere in Colombia. In Colombia, just sent me a bunch of pictures. Looks gorgeous out there, He says 31 plus 31C, which is, I think, is 90 degrees F. Yeah, I wish I was somewhere where it's much warmer. So anyway, so that's the news. So the truck is really on the finish stretch, towards the finish line. And then basically all I gotta do is just transfer the plates, because I cannot do that without the lease signed and without the ownership. And sorry, I thought I forgot something in the coffee shop. And so yeah, the plates, and then gonna wash the trailer, gonna do the signs. And so basically it doesn't look like I'll be trucking this week, because if I get the truck Wednesday, of course by Wednesday I'm gonna prepare my I have to fill out 2 applications for the plate transfer, and they need the lease number, they need the insurance policy number, the current policy that's already covering this KENWORTH. And so now I don't have that, right? So the policy still shows the old Mac. But they said the plate transfer can take 3-4 business days, so I don't think it'll be done by Friday. So probably next week. That's like realistically. So plate transfer, signs on the truck, and if I have some extra money to spare, do the rust protection underneath. Go to a crown rust protection, and then go to a trailer shop and install the cables to this, attach the cables from the right way gauge to the suspension, right? And last but not least, I gotta hook up the ELD from Keep Trucking to make sure everything works. I checked my tablet. The app is already installed on the tablet, but since I didn't have access to the truck, right, after I received the ELD, I just want to make sure it works. And of course, right before I start trucking, I'll have to update my my log, because for some reason Keep Trucking, the only flaw I see up until now is that you cannot put multiple off days on one log, you know, kind of like, you know, stupid. Because so let's say if you're sitting at home like I was, like for, you know, 10 weeks, no, less than that, but let's say what, 8 weeks, no, 6, 7, I have to sign, I have to open each page and I have to sign it. Even though I'm off, I have to sign it. And actually, we just did a webinar, you know, like a seminar online, free. They were teaching you how to use the system, and there was one option there, you can ask questions, and that was my question, and they responded to it on the air. I asked them about this because I had this on my electronic logbook, Eclipse, on my computer. You know, that saves a lot of time. You just, let's say, you're home from, let's say, January 1st to January 15th. You put it off, and then actually Eclipse logbook right away, it's asking you, would you like to put all these logs on one log? And all you gotta do, just enter location and click yes, one log, and then you see like a line and it says off duty, January 1st, January 15th, Cambridge, Ontario, you know. But these guys, when they responded, they say, yeah, so far that functionality is not available, but they're gonna work on it, and they promised the availability in future updates, because they always update these you know, the software. But that's gonna be a big difference for me when I start trucking. So of course, first of all, the truck is totally different, and of course we're gonna do it would be really cool if I can drive the truck, you know, home. Then we can do a first ride video, and a much bigger engine, but the transmission is the same 18 speed, the one I'm used to. I hope it will not give me as much grief as I had on the Mac, because with that transmission did not mix very well with that underpowered engine, you know. But this truck, it has almost 300 pounds of torque more, and it has 100 more horsepower, you know. So I think this one will do great with the 18 speed. And also this one is 410 with 24.5 tires, which is the same as 391 with regular tires. So I'll be cruising around 62-65 miles per hour when empty. Now basically I'll be able to drive a bit faster than I drove with the Mac. So you see, so everything changes a little bit. But of course the ELD will be a major change, because now I have to keep track, you know, of my hours and make sure the ELD is working, you know. But you know, I don't do too many miles. You guys know me, right? When I sold the Mac, it had less than 200,000 miles since 2014, in 3 years, you know. I don't know that many miles. I don't chase miles. I'm not paid cents per mile like a company driver. I don't care. But we have one rule. Oh, and actually one cool thing about this Keep Trucking is that even though it's an American company, but they do recognize that here in Canada we have a slightly different cycle, and a couple of rules are different. Like for example, in Canada, every 2 weeks, even if your logs is like on the dot, on the money, and you have the hours, but in Canada you must take 24 hours off after 14 days. Okay, so you have to show consistent, like from start to finish, 24 hours, you know. Like we have resets, the same stuff as in the US, but I think it's the number, it's not like 34, it's 36 hours or something, but very similar. But this the 14-day rule is unique to Canada, and that's why I was happy to see that these guys Keep Trucking allow me to switch the cycle, you know, driving cycle right on the screen from the app. I can switch from 70 hours and 8 days in US to 70 hours and 7 days in Canada, and then the Canadian cycle becomes active. But I'm just saying, that's what I'm anticipating, is that my driving just will be more regulated, and there's nothing I can do. Like you cannot use the app when you're driving, right? So it's pretty much everything is automatic, and you can touch it only when you stop, when it shows vehicle stationary, you know. So those are the differences to me right now. So loads will be the same. Hopefully they'll be bigger, because now I feel more confident about hauling super big loads, and plus my trailer is set up for big loads, right? Because of the drop side rail design. And what's gonna change also is my area of operation, right? So now I'm adding Quebec. So we're gonna have more fun trucking in Quebec, trying to speak French. I just have to brush up my French and remember that secret phrase that unlocks the hearts of Québécois when you're there. Je n'ai pas parler français. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all you need to know. As soon as you say that, that's a magic phrase. Everybody starts smiling. People switch to English right away. So, but we'll have to brush up my pronunciation, you know. So yeah, now it'll be Ontario and Quebec. Oh, and one last thing, of course, that's gonna change is the load board. I'm adding a second load board, much bigger load board, run by DAT in Canada, specifically to have better access to Canadian shippers and Canadian brokers, because until now 99.99999% of my loads were all from American brokers and American shippers. Okay, so that's it. So Wednesday we're signing the lease, and I'm getting the truck. Either they drive or I drive. We'll know for sure Wednesday, so I'll post the next update. Will be less talking and more action, and we'll do it Wednesday, March 7th, when I also happen to be checking out of my hotel, you know. So from the hotel straight into the Kenworth T880, and while I'm waiting for all this plates and signs and stuff like that, I'll have plenty of time to show you guys inside the truck, you know, show you the engine, maybe run around the yard. And of course, the most important thing we're gonna do this week, that's a promise, we're gonna test the 4 air horns that are on the roof of that black beast. Stay tuned, more to come. Thanks for watching.